Ever wanted to grow a certain plant, but it never seems to thrive in your garden spot? Learn about sunlight and microclimates in this short video. Also, remember, stick around to the end for our bonus tip.
Get me to the farm.
Hi, this is Sue with Get to the Farm, here to talk to you about sunlight in the garden. Reading about specific plants, you'll encounter growing requirements. Generally expressed as full sun, part shade, or full shade, these terms refer to the sunlight a plant needs for best performance. Not sure what these terms mean? Full sun. Plants require at least 6 hours of sun per day. Part sun. Plants should receive 3 to 6 hours of sun per day, preferably in the morning or evening, but not during the hottest parts of the day. Think west side of the house, shed or tall fence, or with protection during midday from small trees. Part shade. Plants will thrive in 3 to 6 hours of sun per day, but definitely require shade during the afternoon when the sun is hottest. Think east side of the house, shed or tall fence. Full shade. These plants need fewer than 3 hours of direct sun per day. Filtered sunlight or light shade for the rest of the day. Here, think about the north side of a house, shed or tall fence, or under a big tree. Sun or shade. Sunlight is simple. A plant gets sun or it does not. That sunlight can vary throughout the day. Early and late light is softer, with afternoon sun blazing in with scalding rays and infrared heat. Other than plants loving full sun, most do not like direct noonday sun. Shade, on the other hand, is more complicated. In deep shade, like you find on the north side of a house, alongside a stone wall or privacy fence, or beneath a towering tree, plants only receive reflected light. Partial shade beneath smaller trees is dappled and constantly changing, with the shade increasing and decreasing as the leaves change with the seasons. We can observe these seasonal light patterns as we choose and situate plants for our garden. If we have a shady yard or garden, one of the best tools we can do for ourselves is to make a sun diagram of our garden space. We can go out several times in a day and take pictures, or we can place flags or markers where the shade begins. Doing this a couple times over the season will allow us to know when certain areas are becoming more or less shady or sunny. Shady gardens. With only limited sunlight, our choices in plants is more restrictive than if there's 6 to 8 hours available daily. Most fruit trees and high-producing vegetables do need at least some full sun to produce a harvest, but there are some that will grow in partial sun and full shade too. Greens, and surprisingly Brussels sprouts and rhubarb, will thrive in less light, about 3 to 4 hours. In fact, leafy plants like lettuce, spinach, and etc. prefer the cooler temps that shaded areas provide. Vining legumes like peas and beans, root crops in the cole family, do well in medium light, about 4 to 6 hours. Climbers like peas and beans like to be rooted in cool, shady soil, but then reach up for sunlight. High-producing plants like pepper, okra, tomatoes, squash, and melon crops will require more light, at least 6 to 8 hours to produce a good harvest. We can use space under trees for plants with less light needs. Also look for places along fences, walls, sheds, and beside the house. This can provide both shade and extra light and warmth, depending on which side of the construction is available. Remember to consider this vertical space as a potential area to grow fruit. While generally a space hog in the garden, many fruits can be espaliered or trained to grow vertically on a frame. Apples, pears, apricots, and plums are a few of the fruit trees good for training up trellises, fences, and even unused vertical space along walls. Sometimes getting more light into your garden is as simple as trimming a few branches on an overhanging tree. But there are other ways to enhance the brightness of a shaded garden. Painting any surrounding surfaces white or strategically placing mirrors will reflect light that plants can use. Be careful using mirrors though, as birds are confused about what they see, and this may cause them to fly right into the mirror. A small pool or a pond can reflect light onto the surrounding plants, brightening up a shaded corner. Even automotive shades for windshields can help out in dark corners for little cost. What if you're in full sun all the time and you have crops you want to grow that would prefer more shade? There are several kinds of shade cloths available, from standard shade screens, providing various levels of shade, as well as climate coverings, which cool the area but still allow light to be reflected into the plants. Shade screens can be found at box stores like Home Depot. Climate covering may have to be found online. So, paying attention to the sunlight and microclimates in our garden and planting what likes that area can be certain to get our gardens off to a great start. Please post below if you've been able to find just the right spot to grow something that's been giving you trouble. Now, for our bonus tip. While some plants should be transplanted at the same level in the soil, tomato plants can be planted deeper. Set the tomato roots in one side of the planting spot, pinch off the bottom leaves, and extending the stem to the other side of the hole, cover it with soil and stake as usual. This will allow the roots to grow all along that stem, strengthening the plant in the soil and giving it a great start in producing juicy tomatoes. That's it for our top gardening tips dealing with sunlight. Be sure to check out our other tips on garden planting, seedlings and transplants, garden care, and dealing with harvest and soil health. We'll put those on the end of this video, and you can find them in the description as well. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and share. And if you're not already, hit that big red button below to follow our adventures as we get to the farm.
And I feel like New York City. Get me to the farm.